Hello from Bishop Stang High School, located in beautiful Dartmouth, Massachusetts. My name is Everett, and I will be reading today's Dartmouth Week as part of the Audible Local Ledger's High School Student Community Service Program. The Ledger continues to deliver information and entertainment to the print-impaired who live on the Cape, the islands, and the South Coast. Many confronting disabilities such as low vision, blindness, or neurological disorders, as we have for over 25 years. Bishop Stang High School is proud to assist in connecting these listeners with the outside world. Now on with today's reading of Dartmouth Week, dated Thursday, February 13th. Our first headline today reads, The search for a town administrator continues. Written by Leah Boussalel. Board rescinds offer made to Bridget Allman. The search for Dartmouth's next town administrator will continue. At its Monday, February 10th meeting, the Select Board unanimously voted to rescind its offer to candidate Bridget Allman, who is currently the Director of Finance in Fall River. After she rejected the town's contract offer due to the contract language, the town has been looking to fill the position since former town administrator Sean McEanes resigned back in July of 2024. The board completed interviews with 4 candidates in December, voting to offer the position to Allman on December 16th. At the time of the vote, members expressed interest in conducting a new search. Select Board Chair Sean McDonald said he wasn't satisfied with the work completed by the search firm Edward J. Collins, Jr., Center for Public Management at UMass Boston. Though he didn't anticipate finding the perfect candidate, he wanted the board to be more confident when making its decision. It is currently unclear what the board's next steps are for the search, having previously mentioned interest in starting fresh with a different search firm. According to McDonald, a request for proposals is already completed, and the board will be convening within the next week to discuss what's next. Throughout the search, board members voiced concerns about having a quick yet efficient process that can grant the town stability. Nothing the last town administrator searched lasted approximately 7 months, which was partially why they chose to move forward with Allman. The Select Board voted to rescind their offer to Bridget Allman. Moving forward, Select Board member Christopher O'Neill suggested the board consider having Labor Council work on the town administrator contract and all other employment contracts in order to formulate an agreement that works for both parties. He said it might be easier to achieve this with someone who is more experienced in current labor issues. Typically, town council handles non-union contracts. While Labor Council handles those in the union. O'Neill said he was unhappy with the time frame of the delivery of the revised contract and noted it could have been perceived as negatively towards the candidate. The town's lost the opportunity to work with a qualified, knowledgeable individual, he said. I can only hope that when we go out to market again, that we can quickly and fairly negotiate with the best candidate who will work with the department to bring common goals for the benefit of the taxpayer and the fee payer. Select Board member David Tattlebaum said, while he agrees this is worth discussing, he does not believe the recent negotiations should be a negative reflection of the town council's performance, given all that he's accomplished in his time with the town. Also, at Monday meetings, the board agreed to rescind their previous vote, which stipulated a 1-year review in the 3-year town administrator contract, calling for an evaluation of the employees' performance metrics. Our second headline reads Programming a Future for Women in Computer Science, written by Abby von Selous. When Dartmouth High seniors Brookie Adams and Mia Torres first enrolled in AP Computer Science principles to fulfill the graduation requirement, neither had the intention to take it much further. Now they are both planning to major in computer science in college. I became sort of addicted to coding, and I just started doing it in my free time, Adams said. At the end of the course, students are given an assignment where they have to design an app which Adams finished in 2 days. As a runner, Adams wanted to create an app that could help the user decide how many miles they should run on a given day. You can input how much water you took, how much sleep you had in a day, how many miles your last run was, or how many days ago your last one was, she said. It would take that all in, and it would output how many miles you should run. Torres, who said she's always loved to dance, designed her app to help the user with their choreography in specific genres of dance. Being able to code and having both the structure of computer science while also having the freedom to use my own thinking and applying it to solve these problems. I just feel like it's something that I could enjoy doing for the rest of my life, she said. Dartmouth High School recently won College Board's AP Computer Science Female Diversity Award for its AP Computer Science Principles course, which was awarded to just 847 schools in the country. College Board gives the award to schools based on the percentage of male versus female students enrolled in a course, said Eric Bosworth, a computer science teacher at the high school. Offering computer science as a graduation requirement, Dartmouth High has had a high number of female students enrolled in computer science classes for the last 5 years, Bosworth said, adding that while it isn't currently a statewide requirement, he wishes it was. Every class that's required, math, science, English, history, you're not going to love them all, but how are you going to know unless you take a bite? He said. Adams said she thinks more women would enjoy computer science if they believed it was something they were capable of doing. The stereotype for computer science, she said, is that it's for smart men who just sort of sit at a computer and code all day, but after doing research into the field, she realized this didn't have to be the case. There's so many branches that you can go into, she said. There's even coding for fashion, And I just think if girls knew more about what you could do with it, it would probably be more appealing and something that more women would want to try. Bosworth said he thinks it's important to represent all voices in all fields, and especially when trying to resolve a problem. You'd need that bit of empathy, he said, even with something as simple as an app. You might look at it one way and then hand it to a user who's got a different perspective, and they say, "Oh, well, this doesn't work for me, and here's why." Adams said that while it did feel a little lonely in class when she realized a lot of the other girls didn't like computer science and didn't understand why she also felt empowered, there is a part of me that's like, oh, they do need more females in this major, and it's empowering a little bit to be like, oh, I can do this, she said. In some ways, you guys are forging that path ahead, and hopefully you can look back and say to someone behind you, maybe some young person in middle school, yeah, you should check this out, Bosworth said to Adams and Torres. Mia Torres left, and Brooke Adams both plan to major in computer science in college. Our next headline reads, School Committee works to finalize its fiscal year 2026 budget. Written by Abby Von Saluz. The Dartmouth School Committee is projecting a 4.1% increase to its fiscal year 2026 budget when they are still working to finalize. At its Monday, February 10th meeting, the committee discussed its plans to finance the budget, which is projected to cost $55,353,511, and its increases, focusing primarily on the use of school choice funds, which had supplemented the budget's deficit last fiscal year. However, the proposed solution is not sustainable long term, and the committee continues to consider its options. School choice funds, which come from a program that allows out-of-district students to attend the high school, are contingent on a yearly vote, would fund $1,673,220 worth of expenses, including the salaries of 11 employees, circular materials, and technology replacements, said Assistant Superintendent James Keeley. I personally never thought we would be there, he added. It's significant. As current projections stand, the district won't have enough school choice funds to cover expenses beyond fiscal year 2027. At the beginning of fiscal year 2026, the district is projecting to have $2.2 million in the school choice involvement account, and after using almost $11 million in reserves through the budget plan, the district would be left at the start of fiscal year 2027 with approximately $1.3 million in school choice funds, Keeley said. Based on the current trend, the district is projected to spend a little over $1.7 million in fiscal year 2027, with school choice funds ending the year with a little under $300,000 remaining in the account. Obviously, that is where it ends, Keeley said. We no longer would have the funding necessary to continue that for another year. Committee member John Nunes commented on the school choice funds, saying, "The way I look at this, we're getting our money in 28. So we have 2 years to get our act together." He added that the school choice should be handling incidentals and extras such as purchasing a box of paperclips or pens rather than salaries. Dartmouth public schools are also $2,752 below the state average in total spending per pupil. This is most notable in operations and maintenance, as well as insurance and benefits, which are both nearly 40% below the state average, and in administration spending, which is 33% lower than the average, Keeley said. To make the fiscal year 2026 budget recommendations work, the district would have to make significant decisions in reallocating resources, Keeley said. This could include getting rid of 7 job positions, with the potential for 9 through attrition, and reallocating the finances to support the district's recommendations. With the proposed addition of 11 jobs, this would ultimately reduce staffing by 2 positions. In an effort to cut costs, Keeley is also working to reduce the bus route in fiscal year 2026, citing the fact that it costs $80,000 per bus route, with costs increasing in this area. The school district has less staff per 100 students than the average in every category, as well as compared to schedules with similar demographics as Dartmouth. The student body has also changed in the past few years, with enrollment projected to be a bit lower than it's been. Over the last 10 years, Dartmouth has high needs to also see an increase in its percentage of high need students, increasing from 29% to 43%. Low income students increasing from 17.5% to 30%, and students with disabilities increasing from 12.5% to over 21%, according to Keeley. Our students are continuing to become a needier population year after the year, he said. He added that these are important factors to consider when talking about the resources they need to support kids. We are not asking for all the pretty little things, said member Kathleen Amaral. These are the 2 things we need for our school district to function. Our next headline reads, "Kids Will Return to the Ballpark," written by Abby Von Salou. For 100 years, kids across the country have competed in American Legion baseball. And now a Dartmouth team is up to bat. Adam Moreira decided to restart the program after she saw a need for kids to have an option to keep playing competitive baseball after the school season ended without having to join a travel team, which Moreira said can be really pricey. Originally established as a veterans organization, American Legion Baseball was formed to help the local community, especially young men, grow and become great gentlemen, Morera said. I remember being a kid and watching Fall River versus New Bedford Legion games. And to me, it felt like the World Series, he said. The Dartmouth team will play against nearby teams over the summer, which the potential for competing in the state tournament and the American Legion World Series. The biggest thing is you are playing for your town, Morera said. You are representing your town. This year, the Dartmouth team is returning with its junior program for kids ages 13 through 16. But Morera said he hopes next year there will also be a team for the senior division. I am hoping with starting it back up for this year, I'll start to gain access and traction and interest again in town and start to draw more talent, he said. Kids age out of the Dartmouth Youth Activities Association's baseball program at 16, so offering a senior division would give 17 and 18-year-olds the opportunity to continue playing baseball outside of school. And before starting college, Morera said, I just want to have everyone have an option to play, Morera said. For kids interested in joining, there will be open tryouts in April. More information will be available on the team's Facebook page, Dartmouth Post 307 Baseball. Our next title reads, Weekend Snowstorm Passes Through Dartmouth Quietly by Leah Busalel. It was a relatively quick and quiet storm that passed through town over February 8th and February 9th weekend. Thanks in part to the work of the Department of Public Works, through the storm was the biggest the town's seen this season, accumulating 3 inches of snow. The majority of it fell overnight, meaning there were few individuals traveling on the road. With over 120 miles of pavement in town, the crews worked from around 7 p.m. Saturday night to early morning Sunday, returning again to further treat the roads. The crew did a great job, said Public Works Director Tim Barber. We had enough of a forecast that we were ready. All 3 of the town's fire districts and the police department reported no major accidents or incidents as a result of the weekend's weather conditions. I give props to the Department of Public Works, said Fire District 1 Chief Peter Andrade. These roads were clear. We didn't have any issue at all. So these guys did a good job coming in early and getting the roads cleared for any kind of first responders. However, the Department of Public Works, who did run into a smaller number of challenges, including a number of cars that did not follow the town's parking ban, according to Police Chief Brian Levesque. Those who don't follow the ban are subject to parking violations and or towing. We are looking at doing more enforcement if there are any future parking bans, he said. In addition to briefly being dangerous, it does make it extremely difficult for DPW to get these roads cleared. Levesque said to another common issue during the storms is property owners failing to clear their sidewalks. This is especially concerning in areas where there is pedestrian traffic, he added. Nothing places such as schools along Route 6 and in Padanaram. There are people who walk up and down Route 6, and it's very dangerous to walk in the road, Barber said. Our next reading will be Create a Homemade Bird Feeder. During the upcoming school vacation, spend time learning how to make a handmade bird feeder using household items, such as peanut butter that will attract all birds. Hosted by the Dartmouth Natural Resources Trust, all materials will be provided and cost $10 per child. Chaperones can attend for free. The event will be on Tuesday, February 18th. From 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at 318 Chase Road. Those interested can register on the Dartmouth Natural Resources Trust's website. I've reached the end of our reading for today. If you know someone who could benefit from our service, or you're interested in either volunteering or donating to our non-profit to keep us on the air, it is tax deductible. Please call 508-539-2030 or visit our website, audiblelocalledger.org. You can now listen to us on smart speakers like the Amazon Echo Dot and Google Home. Just say, Alexa or Google, play radio station Audible Local Ledger on TuneIn, and you'll have a clear, static, free connection to our readings. As always, thank you for listening and for all of your continued support. This is Everett. Bye for now.